Okay, so this is going to be a video about how to rearrange your editing workspace so it's a little more convenient to work with. This is just the standard Premiere editing workspace that you get that comes with the program, with the project window down here in the media and the timeline and the source and program windows here. So we're going to make some changes to this. First thing we're going to do before we do anything is we're going to come up here and we're going to window workspaces and we're going to save as a new workspace. So we're not going to disturb the old one. We're going to create a new one. So we're going to call this new edit. You can name it whatever you want to. I'm just using this for the tutorial. You can just call it whatever you would like to call it, but I'm calling mine new edit. Okay, and now we're no longer interfering with the old workspace that came with Premiere. So the first thing that we want to do is, and we're just going to do this just in the order that I do it in, is we're going to take the project window and just drop it right up here into the source window, right in the middle. Just drop it. The media browser, we're going to drop up here into the program window. And I know it seems weird, just stick with me. I'm going to switch back over here to program so you're not looking at something weird over there. Libraries, we don't use that often, so we're going to just close that panel. Info, same thing, close the panel, just click on these three little dots. Effects, we're going to put up into this window, just drop it in the middle. Markers, again, we're going to click on the three little lines there and just close it. And history, we're going to drop up in this panel. Okay. So now we've got the entire timeline here. Now the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take the audio meters and we're going to click on the top of this and drag them up, and sometimes you have to do it twice and grab onto it. We're going to drop it into the left edge of the program monitor. So right there, and just narrow this down a bit. Now you don't want to make it so narrow that the numbers disappear, because the numbers are useful. So we make it just wide enough that it still creates two columns of audio for left and right. You can see the difference here, but you can also read the numbers. Also, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller here, just so the program monitor is a little bit wider. So there we go. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to order these a little bit. So we're going to come down here and we're going to bring up the project window first and just drag it all the way left. So we got project source. Then we're going to do effects next. So let's bring up the effects and just bring it to the left of effects controls. So we have effects, effect controls. Clip mixer, we're going to close the metadata because we don't use that much. And keep history, because it's nice to be able to get to your list of undos. Now we're going to actually add another window that's not open. We're going to go to window. I'm going to turn on track mixer, and that automatically goes in here. And we're going to bring it ahead of the clip mixer, because usually if I'm editing a clip, I'm usually not doing it in the clip mixer. I'm usually doing it in the audio setup, which we'll talk about in a different video. But just in case I need to use the clip mixer, I still use that. So let's go here. And so this is my setup. So if I want to start reviewing my media, I'm going to save this layout now. I'm going to go to Window, Workspaces, and I've already created the new name, so I'm just going to save the changes to this workspace. Okay, so now we've got this ready to call up as new edit. So let's go back to this is the old editing interface, and this is the new editing interface. So we go here and go to new edit. Okay, and again, if you come here and go on edit workspaces, you can put these in whatever edit you want. So we can take whatever order you want. So we can just drag this up to the top. So when we're looking for a new edit. So here's, if we go to the old editing workspace, this is the one that comes with Premiere, and if we go here to the new editing workspace, this is what we've just created. And what I like about this is now, and don't worry about the project window and the source window being in the same panel here, because if I want to look at a clip, I just flip it down here and I double click it. So here's the first interview. Click, it switches over here. I can set my in and out points. Okay, and I'm just doing random in and out points. Bring this playhead all the way back to the beginning and either hit the overwrite or the period key and just write it down into the timeline, and there it is. The 12 Miles of Christmas is in it. Okay, so that's fine. You want to look at another clip, just switch back over to the project window, go for interview number 2. Again, set your in and out points. You know how to do that. Let's put the playhead in the right spot and overwrite again, and then so you're editing away. You're doing fine. If you want to bring in some extra media, you've got the media browser over here. All you have to do is switch to your project window. Okay, and let's go to the media browser, and you can make this window a little bigger so you can see where you're at. And let's go to where I've stored all my files. So let's bring in, let's see what we got here. Let's bring in a shot from this. So let's go into the master and coverage shots. So you can either click here and it will bring up the actual clips themselves, which you can actually hover, scrub, and see what's inside them. Or you can just bring in the whole folder by just clicking here and just right clicking and say import the whole folder. And boom, the whole folder's in there now. There was a couple of shots in there, a zip file that it couldn't read, but that's okay. So then here's all those shots, okay? And I like to view my things in list view because I usually go through and name my shots before I even import them into Premiere. That's a whole other video. But this is the interface. So if I now go back here, this is my project window. I go back to my program window, and this is how you're used to seeing. And also, when you're editing with the audio meters here, you're seeing the audio right next to the video. You're not having to look down here in the bottom right corner to see your audio level. So if you're playing, 4 years ago, to give back to the and you see here's kind of bouncing off zero here. So let's just right click and go to audio gain, and let's bring it down about minus 3 dB. Okay, so now let's play it back. Developed to give back to the community. Okay, so now you see that the audio is a pretty nice level. So this is not an audio tutorial, but just showing you the convenience of having the meters right here, right next to the video is very nice. Okay, so that concludes how to rearrange your editing interface so you can work a little quicker.